guys, Ashley Henry here. Today I just want to educate everyone, as promised, on how to increase their credit score and get the best credit scores possible to be able to go out there and acquire the home that you desire. Get the car, get the business loan, credit cards, and those great things, leveraging your credit score. You know, my story, a couple years ago, I actually came to the United States on a soccer scholarship. No one educated me about credit. I had no idea what credit was all about. I remember whenever I needed anything as it relates to leveraging my credit, my uncle always helped me get the cell phone and pay the bills, put the light bill in his name and so forth. But when I graduated from college, you realize how important and how imperative it was for having a great credit score. I realized that even your hiring process, your credit also determines you getting hired. So coming from the islands to the United States, no one educated me. There is no educational system in place to help people understand their credit, how to leverage their credit the right way, and overall have a better understanding of finances as it relates to your credit score. Because with a poor credit score, you're just paying more for everything, higher interest across the board. So I'm going to teach you guys today what some great information I've been able to implement in my life, which has been able to help me transform my life, going from struggling to pay the bills, going from living in an apartment, which was pretty much an efficiency with my family, and leveraging my credit score to be able to get into business and just really leverage my credit overall to home ownership, investment properties, getting access to credit cards, lines of credit, business credit, leveraging credit score again to also get the cars that I actually want to drive and not the car that they give you because of a poor credit score. So first thing, as it relates to credit, I've been able to help thousands of people all across the United States increase their credit score and be able to get their life back on track. You know, so many misconceptions when it comes to credit. And again, I just want to empower everyone. Just like information helped me change my life, I want to share that information with everyone that's watching this video today to help you change your life, leverage your credit score, put yourself in a better position with your credit. Okay guys, so the first thing I want to talk about is your credit score. Okay, now as far as your credit score is concerned, it's 3 digits that's really run our lives. Okay, now your credit score determines you getting hired. Your credit score determines you getting approved for a loan, whether it be a mortgage, car loan, getting lines of credit, business credit, credit cards. Credit score determines all those things, even your insurance policies, right? Based on what your credit score is, going to determine your insurance premiums, right? And so many people aren't aware of how their credit score impact them in their everyday life. Even your kid's zip code or even your personal zip code will determine where your kids go to school. So again, that also has a play. Your credit influences that. Okay. Now, when it comes to credit, you have 3 major credit agencies. You have Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So those are the 3 main governing bodies when it comes to credit: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Now again, there's a misconception out there that they're government agencies because of the word bureau. They're simply private companies that are in the business of collecting and selling credit information on you. Right now, based on what's on your credit report, that's how these credit bureaus are able to generate income. So you want to make sure that you have positive reporting on your credit report. There was a recent survey that was done. 1 in every 3 credit report has an error or some sort of erroneous, inaccurate item on there. So you're looking at millions and millions of individuals. The last study showed us over 63 million people has erroneous items on their credit report and a 590 credit score and lower. You know, most Americans don't even know their credit score. And again, for something that's so important with your financial life, you want to pay attention to what your credit score is and how it actually affects you overall in your life. You know, I used to work in admissions at a college at one point, and I would see so many times parents come in with their kids to help that student go to college, and based on that parent's credit score, their kids were not able to get the financial aid that they needed to go to college. So again, credit affects you in so many different ways. Now, when it comes to you understanding credit, your credit is broken down into a pie chart, okay? So How is credit calculated? Okay, now how credit is calculated is broken down into a pie chart. All right, 10% of that is based on the types of credit. You have two types of credit. You have revolving credit and you have installment credit. Revolving credit is any credit that you can use and pay off, like your credit cards. Installment credits are lines of credit that you have a fixed payment or a date to pay them off by. Example, a car note or installment loan, a mortgage note. The next 10% is based on new credit. So you want to be mindful of how many times you apply for credit within a 30-day billing cycle, but also establishing new lines of credit can also help you increase your credit score. Okay, now 50% is based on the length of the credit history. How long have you had that specific account open? 5 years, 2 years, 10 years. The longer it is in good standing, meaning there are no late payments, it's better for you on your credit report. You have so many people who don't understand that having an account, you have so many people that have credit cards 5 years, 10 years, and they close those credit cards, not understand that those credit cards will actually, by closing them, will actually hurt their credit score. So you want to make sure you keep those cards open, but you want to make sure that you pay your bills on time during the process, okay? 30%. 30% is based on the amounts owed. And that's basically your credit limit versus your credit balance. Whatever limit you have, you only want to use 30% or lower, okay? Now, let's say for instance, you have a $300 credit card. What you want to do, whatever limit you have, you want to multiply that by 0.3. So in that case, with a $300 credit card, that's $90. A $500 credit card, that's $150. A $1,000 credit card, that's $300. You want to make sure that you keep your credit card balances on the 30%. It doesn't matter your limit. You want to make sure that you keep it on the 30%, because anytime you go over 30%, that's going to affect your credit score in a negative way, and your credit score is going to drop, okay? Then 35% of your score, 35% of your score is based on your payment history. Have you ever paid a bill late? One credit score, I've seen clients making one late payment on their credit score and their credit report, sorry, and their credit score dropping 50 to 100 points. So you want to make sure that you always pay your bills on time, because again, one late payment could actually affect you in a major way. And lending institutions, banks, credit card companies, they actually want to see you making payments over time for you to get approved for different loans. But just based on these two factors right here, the amounts owed, your credit card limits, plus your late payments, that contributes to 65% of your credit score. So you want to make sure that you keep your balances on the 30%, and you also want to make sure that you always pay your bills on time. So just to help you keep track of your bills, because a lot of times you might get busy, you want to make sure that you set up some sort of alert on your cell phone. You know, if you might have a bill that's due on the 15th, you want to put up some type of reminder in your phone to alert you or give you a notification 2 or 3 days before that bill is due, or a day before the bill is due, to remind you to make sure that you pay that bill. Because again, in order for you to get access to loans, in order for you to get access to credit cards, you have to ensure that you pay your bills on time. And again, they want to see you controlling the credit card limits that you have access to. Okay, now there are so many people who don't have established lines of credit. So in order to build your credit, how to build your credit? How to build credit. Now that you know how your credit is calculated, there are some people who actually don't have established lines of credit, and there are also individuals who have credit, but they might have misused their credit, or they might have late payments. You might have some sort of financial mishap where you might have lost your job, or you forgot to pay a bill, and that affect your credit score in a negative way. Well, the first thing that you want to do to start working to improving your credit score, you first want to dispute every negative item that's on your credit report. There's actually laws in place to help every consumer Again, the Fair Credit Reporting Act is in place to help protect consumers from the credit bureaus. So again, you have a legal right to dispute whatever is negative on your credit report. Doesn't matter what it is. Bankruptcies, foreclosures, tax liens, late payments, you can dispute them. Again, once they're erroneous or inaccurate, to get them removed off your credit report. So as far as how to build your credit, if you're working on establishing your credit, the first thing that you want to do is dispute. Okay? The second thing that you want to do, if you don't have lines of credit open, you want to open new accounts. So one account that can help you leverage, increase your credit score is secure cards. Now, a secure credit card is a card that allows you to put your own money up front to open a line of credit. And what's going to happen, that line of credit is going to be reported on your credit report. Okay, so you put your own money up front, whether you go to your bank, your or lending institution, your credit union, to help you establish a secure line of credit, which is actually going to be reported to your credit report. You want to make sure though that you always pay your bills on time and you keep the credit card balances under 30%. Now, the next thing that you can do, you can actually create an account with Self-Lender. Now, Self-Lender is a company that allows you to save money over a year, and you can save anywhere from $25 to $150, $125 every month. But what they do with that commitment that you make, depending on the amount, whether it be $25 or $50, whatever you commit, they're actually going to take that to that bank and create a CD account for you. Now, what's going to happen, that's going to be reported on your credit report as if you got approved for installment loan. Okay? Now, over the year of you paying that bill, just by you getting approved, once you get accepted, your credit score is going to increase because it's going to show up on your credit report as if you got approved for an installment loan, right? So you're saving that money. It's going to be deducted from your bank account every month. It's going to be withdrawal from your bank account every month. And that's every time that bill is paid, it's going to report on your credit report as a positive trade line. After a full year, you're actually going to get a check from Self-Lender for all that money that you put in. You're going to get it back after a year, but I also have a year of history on your credit report, and you can keep doing this over time. That's one of the things that I actually used to help me increase my credit score. I started with a secure credit card. I actually put $300 on that card. Over time, I increased my amount from $300 to $1,000, so I'm able to use. And one of the great ways to use your cards, you want to stay away from using your cards to purchase perishable stuff, like groceries or gas. What I do is I use my credit cards to pay small bills. So like for instance, I had a $200 credit card, so like your cell phone bill, your light bill, small amounts under that 30%. What's going to happen, you see, most people take their cash in their bank to pay their bills, right? But to be able to get, to really leverage your credit, what you want to do is use that card to pay the bill. You don't ever forget you got to pay your bills, right? So what would happen is you take that card and you pay that bill. Now you're going to take the money in your bank account and pay the card. So your bills are paid on time, your credit card was being used, and it's on the 30% as well, and you're also paying that credit card, so you're getting reporting all around. Your bills are paid. You also get it reported on your credit report, because your credit report is really a mixture of credit, right? And they want to see that you're actually paying those bills, whether it be installment, whether it be revolving credit or installment. They just want to see you paying those bills over time. Okay. Now, a next way to help you build that great credit score is by using an authorized user. Now, an authorized user is basically you leverage someone else's credit, whether it be a family member, a close friend. You can actually leverage their credit history. So you want to make sure that person has good credit history, have a credit card. They can actually add you as an authorized user on their card, and what's going to happen, their credit history is going to be transferred to your account, so you can actually leverage their good history. I've seen so many clients have been able to leverage that and have a dramatic increase in their credit score, but you just want to make sure that their balances is even under 20%, because whatever their balance is going to transfer to your accounts, to your credit report. And if you have balances yourself, again, overall, it has to add up to a less than 30%. Now, next way to increase your credit score is by having your renting history, right? So you can credit you can credit your rent. So if you've been renting an apartment or a home, you can actually get your renting history reported to your credit report. There are several companies that's actually doing that to helping people. Now think about it, your rent is your largest bill outside of your car note and your student loans, and you're not getting credit for it right now. But there are several companies out there that can actually help you, and if you look in the bottom of this link, I'm actually going to add a link that you can actually use a company to help you. You can actually go back as far as 2 years of rent and place that on your credit report, which can help you increase your credit score within a short space of time as well. So here are some, again, 5 ways to increase your credit score. And now, when it comes to your credit, banks, lending institutions love to see a mix of credit. Okay? So you have your installment and you have your revolving. So some examples could be a home loan, a car payment, utilities, student loans, right? So your school loans, small installment loans, like for instance, you leveraging your credit to get a computer, you can put on an installment loan to help you build up credit. You don't want to put an outrageous bill on your credit report as far as a small installment loan, but that's a great way to help you establish your credit as well. So you want to make sure that you have a mix of credit, whether it be installment and revolving, and making sure that with your revolving accounts, you keep them on the 30% with all your credit cards, okay? So again, using this information has been able to help me increase my credit score dramatically from a 520 credit score, and actually started working on my credit. And the information that I'm actually sharing with you guys has helped me be able to, one, take my family out of just struggling with a poor credit score. I remember, always having to put whatever bill on my wife's credit, and I ruined her credit report. She had a 800 and above credit score when we actually met, but because of every bill that we needed to acquire to be, whether it be a light bill, try to get a credit card, everything was placed on our credit score. As a result, due to different financial hardships, couldn't pay those bills, her credit was actually tarnished in the process, right? Went down to a 600, but with this information, and again, being able to help thousands of people all across the United States increase their credit, get into home ownership, get that car, get those business lines of credit. You want to implement this information that I shared with you because it really helped me. I went from a 520 credit score to 70, 80 and above on all 3 credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And keep in mind, you more than likely we're gonna have different credit scores. You don't have one credit score on all 3 credit bureaus, but you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you establish at least a 720 and above on all 3 credit bureaus, so you can get the best interest rates possible with everything that you're actually going out there and acquiring. So again, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watching this information, implement it in your life with your poor credit, if you have a poor credit score. And again, it'll be able to help you put yourself in a better financial situation, because with a poor credit score, you're just paying more for everything. And really leveraging your credit, you'll be able to establish wealth for yourself and have debts. Not all debts are bad debts, right? You can have some debts to help you put your family and yourself in a different financial position through real estate and a ton of other business opportunities. Credit, having a good credit scores, put you in a place to take advantage of opportunities when they're presented to you. So many different opportunities as it relates to having a great credit score. So again, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, tag some of your friends on here so they can get this information so it can be implemented in their lives immediately to help them increase their credit score. Thank you guys.